everybody. This week we're going to talk about a topic that's often overlooked or maybe a little bit taboo, and that is the topic of burnout in the procurement function. Hello and welcome. I am Catherine Corin, your procurement guide, and this week I thought I would share a bit of my story and on a topic of burnout that I see popping up on LinkedIn a number of times, people talking about how people don't talk about the mental health of the procurement professional. We deal in a profession where everybody else thinks they can do our job better. That really wears on you, or people don't see the value in what you're doing, or they think you take too long, or you're just pushing paper, or that you're just trying to get cheapest price, and nothing is further from the truth. We seem to be a very misunderstood profession. But burnout happens regardless of profession, and burnout is something you have to watch the signs so that it's not something that takes a while to recover from. And I've experienced burnout twice now in my work career over the span of 30 years. I am currently recovering from burnout, which is part of the reason why I started the YouTube channel to share my knowledge. At the beginning, I thought it was because I was starting to really deteriorate health wise, and I thought I would get the information out there. But luckily for me, I had some really great supports that have moved me along my way. And just a bit of the history is that, you can probably tell from some of the videos I've done about some of the stories I've talked about how hard it was to hire qualified people in 2023. And as a result, workload kept increasing, but the staff wasn't. And then it just wore on all of us, and I was trying to support my staff that were working 9, 10 hour days, as well as keep the boat afloat myself. So what is burnout? And it's more than just stress. When you're stressed, you may feel tired and irritable, but burnout is chronic fatigue. It's really dragging over an extended period of time. And in my case, I was going for blood tests, check my iron, my vitamin D, checking my thyroid function because I was exhausted and in a complete brain fog. And there was no real medical reason for it. Then I started to get into highly emotional states, overreacting and wondering why am I overreacting like this? And I was starting to, okay, I need to go for more stress management. And that is burnout, like excessive fatigue, irritability, mental exhaustion, and the things that bring you joy no longer interest you. I gave up knitting. Knitting is my stress reliever. I love knitting, and I would look at something and I just don't feel like it. I just lost my mojo. It was, I ended up having a really horrible routine of sleep, work, sleep. That was it. I had no interest in doing anything else. So, some of the common signs: chronic fatigue, you're feeling tired both physically and mentally, even after a good night's sleep. Decreased performances, you're struggling to meet your deadlines, or you're feeling like you're not as productive as you used to be. Emotional exhaustion, you're feeling overwhelmed, frustrated, detached from your work and personal life. Health issues, experiencing frequent headaches, insomnia, or even changes in your appetite. Loss of interest and losing the passion for the projects and activities you once enjoyed. If any of these sound familiar, you're not alone. There are strategies to mitigate this on managing your workload and your time so that you don't get too far down the path. I didn't do enough to mitigate the issues, and it resulted in I had vertigo issues that had me off work for about 6 weeks. I had a blackout that sent me down a rabbit hole of medical tests, neurological and cardiac, just to verify what was going on with me. And it ultimately came down to it's none of the above. And in talking to me about what was going on in my life and my workload, I had the heart specialist say, "You need to take time off." And my immediate response was, "I can't." And he says, "Yes, you can. If you drop dead, your work will replace you in a heartbeat. You need to deal with this now so that you're still here later." And so from there, he recommended group meditation and setting boundaries as my first steps. So I started taking my breaks. I started riding my bike, walking, and cutting off working on weekends. Then it proceeded to going for other health supports for diet and exercise plans so that I didn't have to think about them. It wasn't so overwhelming. It was someone providing me that support on what I could do in small steps. Eventually, I ended up going down to a 3-day work week and then phasing out to go back to consulting. And now I am working in my flow. Like if I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and I'm ready to work, I can work at 5 o'clock in the morning. And then if I'm feeling tired, go have a nap. So I'm not going to go down the road of why consulting works better for me because it may not work better for you. It could be a stressor for you. But I'm just saying is that I started finding some mitigation strategies to make me feel better. So some of the strategies for recovery, I've kind of touched on what I did, but other strategies, prioritize your self-care. Take care of yourself. It's not a luxury, it's a necessity. So set aside times for things that help you relax. Set boundaries. Learn to say no. It might be uncomfortable, but it can protect your energy and prevent overload. Break tasks into manageable chunks. Sometimes the sheer size of your workload can feel overwhelming. Break it down into smaller, more manageable tasks. Seek support. Talk to your colleagues, supervisors, loved ones about what you're going through and incorporate mindfulness and relaxation no matter where you are. Just taking a short, deep breath or a short walk at the office can do wonders for your clarity and helps lower stress levels. And then review your workload. What is realistic? Critically assess your commitments. Are there things that can be postponed or removed entirely? Remember, recovery is not an instant fix. It took a while to get to this point, so it'll take a while to get back to your usual self. And it it's not selfish. You need to prioritize your mental and physical health and because it's the foundation of your success. Before we wrap up, I'd like to challenge you with one thing. If you can do something right away, just one small thing, be it a commitment to taking 10-minute break or a commitment to doing a short walk. Every little bit counts. Thank you for watching. Hope this was useful to you. Just something to be mindful of as you journey along your procurement career.